Can you hear me?
Can hear you now. Good.
All right, good.
We're all set for you, Nathan. Go ahead, please, if you would.
All right. I sent a PowerPoint a little while ago. If I share my PowerPoint though, is there something that it will be projected on where you are?
Yeah, I've got to. Can you share now?
Try. Bear with me just a minute. It made me sign in today, which is a new experience for me. All right, it says I have to come back, quit and reopen if I want to share my screen. So would you like me to do that?
It's up to you. If you just want to give us a brief overview and stuff, that's fine too. Completely your choice.
Okay, that's fine. So I was asked to come speak today about our vacant rental program. It is a program that we've been administering for about a year through Housing and Community Renewal. We started in Franklin County in 2025 with a $1.2 million grant. The idea behind the program is that communities throughout New York State have an abundance of, frankly, dilapidated properties that could be useful as rental units, affordable rental units for income qualifying families. And so the idea behind the vacant rental program is that the state made this money available. Property owners can apply for an award. We administer these grants, and those properties selected for funding can receive $50,000 to $75,000 per vacant unit to do necessary upgrades. And I am going to try to follow my slides just so I cover everything.
Okay.
Eligible property types, we're talking about 1 to 5 units in residential buildings or mixed-use buildings. And I should clarify, we're funding up to 4 units per property owner at this time. And that is really just because $1.2 million is not as much money as it sounds. And if we are funding 5 units at a clip, we could not help as many people. So we've decided to limit it to 4 at our agency. But the site that a property owner applies for, they cannot have more than 5 units going into a single building. To be eligible, the property has to, the units that we're looking at have to be vacant and they have to be uninhabitable or unmarketable. Uninhabitable and unmarketable means a lot of things, and so we're required to actually visit every property at the application phase and make sure that no one's living there, no one could live there, and that the property is in such a condition that the property owner could not reasonably rent it out to someone in its existing state. We've had a lot of people ask us if they can evict or relocate someone, and that is a no-go because if someone is living in the unit, it is not uninhabitable. The program makes awards available in 2 different amounts. There's a $50,000 award that can be applied for. At that level, when the work is completed, the property owner needs to lease that rehabbed unit to an income qualifying family, and that tenant needs to be at 80% or less of the area median income. There's also a $75,000 award that can be applied for, and if property owners are applying for $75,000, then they have to lease that unit to someone who's at 60% or less of the area median income. Another component of this is affordability. So the objective is that we have affordable rental units in our communities. We at this point prefer to go over that with the property owners, just because there's a formula that varies by county, by number of bedroom, that determines what is affordable, and it will change every year. But generally speaking, we're looking at a 1-bedroom being somewhere between $1,000 and $1,300 a month, based on current rates, and that would be if the property owner, then landlord, when the rehab is completed, is paying for all of utilities in that unit. So they have to rent rehab units to qualifying families at affordable rates. Funding can be used for an array of different things. The idea is that we're renovating these buildings into marketable, affordable rental units. And we have a lot of flexibility with what that can be. So we can address health and safety improvements, correct code violations, deal with environmental remediations. We can rehab bathrooms, kitchens, purchase appliances. We can repair and replace flooring. We can do structural repairs. We can really do anything that's necessary within reason that is going to result in a marketable, habitable apartment when we're finished. One hitch that we've run into is that if we are presented with a unit that will not be rehabbed for $50,000 or $75,000, then the state requires that the property owner has to be willing and prepared and demonstrate to us that they have the ability to pay for whatever remaining rehab will have to be done so that they can make that property leasable at the end of the project.
That was my question, and I was thinking, how do you make a house or a unit habitable if it's uninhabitable for $50,000 to $75,000? But that answered my question. They have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
And frankly, we're doing it in Franklin County. So we have one unit that we just finished. It was a $75,000 grant. I don't think the property owner had to put a penny into it, and they will have a marketable 2-bedroom apartment that we're handing over to them this week. And across the road, we're doing 2 units that are getting $75,000 each, and they will be 2-bedroom apartments, and I think it's costing the property owner something like $5,000 that we had in overage, but it is tough, for sure. We can't pay for anything that would be considered a luxury item, so no granite countertops, no swimming pools, we don't pay for landscaping. We can pay for bigger ticket items like a foundation or a roof, as long as it's necessary. And we can pay for some shared items, so if there's like a shared heating system that may be benefiting a unit that's being rehabbed, there is some mechanism where we would be able to pay for that as well. Applications, so we've actually already received quite a few applications. We received this $1.2 million award for St. Lawrence County. In December, we were notified. We started advertising on social media a few weeks ago, I think less than a month ago. But we're accepting applications on a rolling basis. When an application comes in, we're date stamping it. We prioritize applications that are received 2 times monthly. And what we're looking for when we evaluate an application, first and foremost, we have to rehab units that belong to what the state deems to be responsible owners. That means that they've paid their property taxes. If they don't have insurance on the property, they have to be willing to get liability insurance on the property. They can't be risking foreclosure with their mortgage. If they have fair housing violations or other complaints, in Franklin County, we operate the Section 8 program, so if a landlord has a history of not addressing complaints or deficiencies in Section 8, we wouldn't allow them to apply for this funding. Beyond that, we're looking for property owners that live within 50 miles of the property that's being rehabbed. That's largely because we want to make sure that people are actually around to ensure that the property is being taken care of. we're prioritizing those applications from property owners who have a smaller portfolio. So HCR defines that as fewer than 20 units. We can fund property owners who own more than that, but if we get 2 applications in and we're evaluating them at the same time, and one person owns 30 different units and another person owns 10, and we only have so much funding available, we're going to fund the person that has 10 units. We're looking to prioritize units that were built after 1980, and that's largely because, I'm sorry, what was that?
Sorry, I didn't, lead-based paint.
Lead-based paint, you're right. And that became the bane of my existence for a few months this year. We don't have a ton of certified remediators in the area, although we have found more over the past few months. We are funding properties that are built before 1980, but again, it's really just if we have 2 properties sitting in front of us, and one was built before, one was built after, we're going to fund the newer property first. We're better able to get the project off the ground with fewer glitches when we do that. Our grant application prioritized property owners who were willing to renovate accessible units or units that incorporated some element of universal design. And right now, as I said, we're limiting funding for up to 4 units at the time of application. And we've designed our program so that if someone applies for more than 4 units, essentially they can pick the 4 that they want funding for. Maybe they won't even qualify for funding for more than 4, but if they did, they could pick 4. And we would waitlist the remaining properties. And we're doing that because we want to make sure that we can spread the money around and help as many people as possible and not have all of the money going to the same couple people. Post-renovation, so as I said, the expectation with anything that's remodeled using the vacant rental program is that after this unit is complete, it is leased for a 10-year compliance period to an income-eligible individual or family at an affordable rate. So once a unit is renovated, we're responsible for compliance monitoring for that 10 years. We do put a declaration of interest, essentially a lien, on the property. It's filed with the county clerk, and that is to ensure compliance during the 10-year period. Unlike a lot of other programs like this, there is no buying it out. There is no, it does not, the amount of that lien does not change after 7 years. If the property is sold, the expectation is that that deed restriction remains. And so if a property owner renovates a property and decides that they'd like to sell it in 5 years, they either need to pay back all of that money or they would need to find a buyer who's willing to take that on. We are responsible for that 10-year period for an annual certification process. We're looking at property owners need to annually certify that they have moved in a qualifying family, that the unit is still being rented, that it is still at an affordable rate. An important note there is that they need to move in an income qualifying family. So if someone moves in and they qualify and then they get a great job and they're making a lot more money, there's no expectation that they have to move out or anything like that. We've had quite a few people ask us questions like that. As long as they qualify to move in, they're good. And everyone living in these units needs to have a lease in place for at least the first 12 months. We've had people ask if they could do short-term rentals. That is a no-no with this problem or with this program. We're not looking to increase the stock of Airbnbs. We're looking to increase the stock of affordable, sorry, Shalyn, of affordable housing. Couple other things that have come up. We've had property owners ask if they can do their own construction. It's great that people are handy, but the way the program is designed, all projects have to go out to bid and you cannot bid on your own job. So we do let property owners choose from our list of qualified contractors who they would like to bid on their job. If people have a contractor that they prefer to work with, that contractor can request and apply to be put on our list of qualified bidders. We've had quite a few people do that in St. Lawrence County. The expectation is that there's no conflict of interest between the property owner receiving the grant and the contractor, so they shouldn't be hiring their family, wives can't hire their husbands, nothing like that. In a nutshell, that's the vacant rental program. Anyone have any questions?
One of the second question I had you answered as well is, we have a big problem with absentee landlords, but the requirement of being within, I think you said 50 miles?
Yes.
That's a good part, I think.
Yes.
Very much so.
Are any other environmental concerns addressed if they're, or tested, like say radon testing? Is that a requirement?
Radon testing is not a requirement, so any property built prior to 1980, we do have to do lead testing, and if the testing comes back indicating the presence of lead-based paint, then we have to contract with an EPA-certified remediator, and we have to get testing done at the conclusion of the project to make sure that there's not lead present. Every project does undergo an environmental review. It's sent to HCR. So far, that has been a pretty seamless process.
Wow.
We had a couple properties that there weren't flood maps on file at the municipal level, but we were able to navigate that. It took a little longer, but we got through the process. Beyond the environmental review with HCR, there's nothing more that we do with that.
Okay.
Good question.
Nathan, does it have to be an apartment? Can it be a single-family dwelling?
I didn't hear you, Shalane, I'm sorry.
Does it have to be an apartment? Can it be a single-family dwelling?
Absolutely. So we're renovating a few single-family homes, and if we can renovate a home, a house, with that amount of money and make it livable and habitable, we will absolutely fund that. As I said, if it takes.
I got one quick question for you. So,
Yeah.
$1 million is gonna go pretty quick for St. Lawrence County. Do you foresee this continuing, or is it just for this year?
So we were funded in 2025 for Franklin County. They had a new round of funding in 2025 to allocate yet more money. I anticipate that there will be additional money allocated. I know that it is something that's been included in the House and Senate bills. So far, I can't say what will be in the final budget for New York State, but historically, it's looked like this is something that will continue to be funded.
Anybody else?
Sounds like a great program.
Yes, it sounds like a great program. Thank you for the update, Nate, and if you ever need anything from else to help out, please let us know.
All right, thank you. I would just close with, if anyone knows anyone who is interested in applying, they should apply soon, because as you said, $1.2 million is not a lot of money, and that will be committed quickly.
We do have a landlords association. I don't know if it would be worth or looking out to them or reaching out to them, or,
Sure.
The thing I could worry about that is that last I knew there were quite a few landlords, and I would hate to see that 1.2 mil just disappear that quickly if they were to all apply.
Well, and I'm kind of looking at it as the initial $1.2 million probably will evaporate pretty quickly. But if we can demonstrate in the middle of this year that there's a wait list and they put this out to bid again, we will have, I think, a strong argument for additional funding for St. Lawrence County.
That's what I figured. I can email you the contact information for the president for the Landlords Association if you'd like.
That would be great.
Okay.
Thank you, Nathan, I appreciate it.
All right, have a good night, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Thanks,
Thank
Nate.
you.
Bye.
Okay, on to reports. Treasurer?
Hello, everybody. Summaries enclosed in the 25-26 year-to-date numbers that you can see. The projections have been distributed to everybody, department has included, as well as the reports loaded up to the Google Drive. Sent you the Massena Rescue Squad summary. last question, is, did I give you guys copies of a correction of errors?
I've not seen it.
Because I have to give it to the board, so I didn't make copies for you, okay, you gotta check on
I
that.
thought I had one down on my desk that I was just looking at.
No, that was a meeting.
Oh, okay.
Okay, no. Because if I remember, as I wasn't necessarily remembered, on February 19th, we got the check from the county for $607,961.12 for the balance of the unpaid village taxes, but they ended up deducting a small amount. That was for a correction of errors. I had to figure out what it was, because they didn't tell me that, so I contacted them, got it straightened out, so let me check to see if I did that or not, because I think I did set it up, I mean, that it printed.
Was it like $2,500?
If it's less than $2,500, the real property director has the ability to work with me to just to adjust it without any special
Okay.
permission.
I was looking at it, for some reason, I'm pretty sure I was looking at that. I was looking at a bunch of things, but double check.
Yes, I'll check on that.
Is that the amount that we submitted to the county?
The 607 was what we received.
What was the amount that we submitted?
It was some $1,000 more.
Okay.
What they sent us was the adjusted amount, minus that correction error. It was something that somebody received a bill that they deemed shouldn't have gotten a bill at all for that year, this tax year, so they just deducted it from us.
So does that include all the re-levies? Water, sewer, refuse, and other? The 607?
Yes, if it was on the tax bill. This is just the unpaid taxes. So if what was
Right.
re-levied onto the tax bill, then yes, that was be included.
Okay.
Lastly is the assessment roll for 2025, which is used for the 26-27 tax bills supplied by the county. Was received was $393,528,170, increase of just over 21.3 million. I added a disclosure in there to say the reason why it's up so largely is because of the Louisville, town of Louisville that did their reval, because we have a portion of that that's in our village boundaries that affects us. So that has gone up because of that.
That'll be the gift that keeps on giving.
That is all that I have. Any questions on that?
Thank you. Committees, code.
We met briefly last week or the week before. As far as code goes, we just kind of discussed streamlining the process in the future, coming up with emergency stuff, emergency type things where getting board approval for,
I was gonna talk a
Go
little
ahead.
bit.
Go ahead.
So I kind of had something already kind of written out. So like, as we continue to work through the unsafe structure cases and the potential hazard situations, reviewing how the code currently applies in those scenarios in chapter 120, when we identify a clear and imminent danger, the code still requires board resolution before repair or demolition can be immediately caused. We don't have really have a built-in rapid response mechanism for outside contractors when time is short. I'm wondering if it was worth considering a bid process to have a qualified contractor available in those situations. When somebody like DPW doesn't have the resources available to take care of the situation. So, one thought that I'm having. Also, the other thing, I guess I'll go into that, there's no comment or discussion there. The 42 Woodlawn demolition has been at a standstill, so I'm kind of wondering where we're going with that.
We'd have to put it out for bid again, because their contract stated that they had to, so many days to start, so many days to finish. That's,
Right. That's all I really had.
We are moving forward on the agreement. I believe positive vibe from everybody, so, and we have another meeting scheduled for Thursday, the 29th. The thing I'm really hopeful for is that everybody is on board. It appears that the town is on board now. You know, there's some things we gotta work out, some questions that they have, and we have, and, that's what we'll go.
Great.
I just want to add, we met with Steve and we were discussing our fall plan, because we're just spring cleanup. What the town has put out there, spring cleanup, and it's caused a lot of confusion with the residents. They think it's the village cleanup, and they think there's some curbside pickup. I'm sure you saw that. So we just want to clarify that that's the town and not the village, and that there's some curbside pickup.
We'll be announcing ours in April. And I think people will be pleasantly surprised.
Maybe we can get a treadmill right now, be okay. Just saying.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you. Emergency, I'm sorry, economic development.
Not too much going on, we're still moving forward with our plans for the Red, White, and Boom in July. Jason and I are meeting with Mike McCabe this Friday, firm up some stuff there at the arena for that. Trustee Bradman and Mayor Caitlin and Monique and I all attended the ribbon cutting ceremony at the chamber this past week, their new office here on Main Street. And I am staying in contact with planning board about new businesses coming in town. Looks like there's a new towing company that's AAA, that's opened up for, other than that, pretty quiet.
Emergency services.
Couple of items later in the agenda for fire, for rescue. PD, I don't have anything unless you have something, Chief.
Okay. Personnel. And rec.
Rec is busy as usual. They had their public skating last month, covered by the sponsors, and PD did their sponsorship and skating with the kids, which was great. April public skating is coming up and being sponsored by Massena Savings and Loan, Bears Den, Massena Sons of Vets, and Donaldson Funeral Home. The March House League runs from today until April 1st. They have over 100 kids signed up in 3 divisions, 8U, 10U, 12U, combined 17U. From last weekend, they had the 10U Battle of the Border tournament with 42 teams. And March 27th to 29th, we're having the Queens of the Ice tournament, which is 2 8U, 1 10U, and 1 12U group. Sign-ups for minor lacrosse just ended. They've had 80 kids signed up at that point. What they anticipated they would have about 120. They have late registration that started yesterday. And is that it?
Good. Thank you. Okay, initial public comment period. Anyone wish to address the board? Okay. On to old business. First off, need to establish a public hearing date for the water and rate charges changes that will be coming, planned for effective June 1st, 2026. I think we wanted to do this in the April meeting, Steve. So the first one for the water and rate charges would be, what's our date?
21st.
April 21st. You guys want to start a little earlier?
Sure.
Why?
5:15. Why not?
I mean, I don't.
5:30?
That's early.
Let's give them a
Well, I just mean because everybody in the public is so used to us meeting
Yeah.
at 5:30,
Let's just stop it.
stay consistent.
Okay. All right, so the first one, entertain a motion to establish a public hearing April 21st at 5:30 PM. Moved by trustee Pete, second. Second by trustee Simpson. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next up, I need a motion to establish a public hearing date, which would be April 21st at describe that one for everyone?
Yeah, that's just an update to the code, for a practice that we've been doing for quite a few years. We used to test the water meters in-house, and we, sometimes we run into some pushback from the residents because the village is testing their own meter, and then, having to tell the people they have to pay the bill. So, last few years, I've been sending them out to our distributor. They independently test them, send them back, and we're just looking to recoup those costs. It's a minor adjustment on the cost.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, establish a public hearing for the sewers and payment of sewer rent. That would be April 21st at 5:32 p.m.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Rodman, second?
Second.
Second by trustee Simpson. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And then finally, establish a public hearing for solid waste service charges, April 21st at 5:33.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Rodman, second?
Second.
Second by trustee.
Can I comment?
Sure.
Since we have a second, would it be the right idea to draft a letter to our county assembly people that represent the village of Massena to come to that meeting to just tell us why their rates are going up, so our rates might have to go up? Is that something?
Yeah, I think we'd rather have someone from the county come. We'd
A
rather have.
rental bid, I think is the solid waste,
Yeah.
correct?
She is.
I don't know if they would come, but that way the public knows it's not the village trying to make a buck on the deal.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. We can ask her.
You know, they can say no, but, because it's just not us that's gonna have to raise the rates.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yep, we'll request it.
Thank you.
Don't think all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I want to get that over.
Yep. Good.
Or a statement, yeah.
Next up, in the new business, authorization to request mowing proposals for properties in violation of code. This is an annual one that we do. Moved by trustee Simpson, second.
Second.
Second by trustee McGinn. And again, this is just a request for proposals. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Second, entertain a motion for the authorization to request proposals for removal of trash, debris, and rubbish from properties in violation of the village code.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Broadbent, second.
Second.
Second by trustee Pitts. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next up, entertain a motion for the authorization to advertise for a part-time administrator at the Massena Rescue Squad. Moved by trustee Simpson, second. Second by trustee Pease. And it's important to know that this does not affect the tax rate because this will be funded through resource recovery monies through the rescue squad, so it does not affect the tax rate.
Can I just comment?
Absolutely.
You know, Chad and I were involved with Mike. I think if we do this right, we'll actually benefit. The village will actually benefit. We need somebody there to help oversee just the daily operations. Just to help streamline things, and I think that the rescue squad, the village will definitely benefit from this.
I completely agree. I think we need to have a set of village eyes there to.
Yeah, because every other department has somebody that oversees.
Agreed. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next up, a proposed resolution to authorize a professional services agreement with Bella Associates for grant consulting and administrative services. Entertain a motion? Moved by trustee Pete, second?
Second.
Second by trustee Simpson. I will say Labella has been everything in that sense. Plenty of stuff.
And I just
Sure.
add to that, that This is the general consulting and grant. So we have various other contracts with them, but those are project specific. So if somebody has something that they want to research, this is, you know, like if there's grant opportunities for a splash pad, for example, they would go out and research those opportunities for us. So I just wanted to make sure that we were differentiating between the different agreements.
This is a roll call vote. Trustee Peets,
Aye.
trustee Broadman,
Aye.
trustee McGowan.
Aye.
Trustee Simpson.
Aye.
And I am aye. Next up, I'll entertain a motion to establish a public hearing to consider authorizing a property tax levy increase of the 2% limit, and that would be March 31st, 2026. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Simpson, second by trustee Peets.
At 4 o'clock.
At 4 o'clock. Now, that's actually, our tax cap is 3.25% this year. And I think you guys would be pleasantly surprised that we would be at below the cap. Excellent. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next up, to establish the budget hearing date, the first one there on March 31st at 4:01 p.m. Moved by trustee Broadbent, second?
Second.
Second by trustee Peets. This is where I'll present the budget. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. David was the first. Next up, entertain a motion to establish the budget work session dates and times. They would be April 14th at 4, April 15th at 4, April 16th at 4, and April 21st, if necessary, at 5:30, and that's a regular monthly. But it would actually be later. As long as that's fine.
So
Moved by trustee Simpson, second?
Second.
Second by trustee Ball. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
So you want to mention the 15th isn't going to be in here.
Yeah, the 15th is going to be in the small, in what they'll be signs, because the town has a meeting. Next up, entertain a motion to accept the resignation of Mike Violi from the Business Development Corporation Board of Directors.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Pete, second?
Second.
Second by trustee McGowan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next up, I'll entertain a motion to accept the retirement of David White, senior motor equipment mechanic shop foreman, effective the 18th.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Broadbent, second? Second by trustee McGowan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next up, entertain a motion for authorization to dispose of the surplus dumpsters. So moved by trustee Simpson, second?
Second.
Second by trustee Peets. And try and sell these in the fair market value and such. All's in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next up, I'll entertain a motion, a proposed resolution to establish the Rescue Squad Equipment Capital Reserve Fund.
So moved.
Moved by trustee Simpson, second?
Second.
Second by trustee McGowan. This was actually in the agreement where we were supposed to have a distinct 10% capital fund for them. We've always tracked it, we've kept track of the fact that, all right, there's this much money for the 10%, but we haven't formally created this account, we really should. It's a roll call vote. Trustee Peets?
Aye.
Trustee Broadman?
Aye.
Trustee McGowan?
Aye.
Trustee Simpson?
Aye.
And I am aye. Next up, a proposed resolution to authorize the expenditure of funds from the Fire Equipment Capital Reserve Fund to purchase the portable radios with accessories.
So called. So moved.
Moved by trustee
Oh, no.
Broadman, second? Second by trustee Peets. These are the, as the new wire, the new radio system came out. It's
Yes, I asked a few individuals that I see quite often, and So when's it happening? They go, it's supposed to happen by the end of the year.
The information we're hearing now is that they're waiting for foliage so that they can test with full
I
foliage.
was told June, July.
Yeah,
But
okay.
I was also told October, I was told last October, last
Yeah.
March.
Sooner or later, you gotta buy the radios.
Yeah.
They're probably not getting any cheaper.
Weren't we also told that the county was gonna pay for these?
Yeah.
Whoops.
Luckily, we have this
Yeah.
this fund. What, these small communities, what are they gonna do?
So, thank you, yep, for the fund, so, and this is a roll call vote. Trustee Peets,
Aye.
trustee Broadbent, trustee McGowan.
Aye.
Trustee Simpson.
Aye.
And I am an aye. Good.
I was just gonna say, it's subject to permissive referendum.
Yeah, so 30 days before they can. The voucher warrants.
Entertain a motion that the voucher warrants signed by myself, trustee Broadbent, and Mayor Pickman are approved.
Second. Second. Second by trustee Simpson. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. I think we have all the numbers for the firefighters, police department. Anything, guys? Busy as always. Explore Massena has their update in there, and as we said, under communications and correspondence, I'll present the budget on the 31st. As I said, I'm very confident we will be at or under the tax cap. And a big thank you to the fire department, all departments, Steve. It's amazing that the volunteer fire department actually helped out of the money that they got from the town in terms of paying for some equipment as well, so everybody, all departments chipped in. I was worried, to say the least, as I think we all were, so. Okay, closing public comment, anyone? Awesome.
Yes, I'd like to regress back to the old business in regards to the solid waste services that we have here. I think competition is good out there, you know, and some things should be challenged at times. And I'm requesting that the board or the village look for additional options or alternate options out there as we did in the past, and not lock into one service, if you will, if I think you know what I mean. And if you guys need help with that, I'd be more than happy to do that. But we challenged them in the past and they reduced our rates instead of increasing them, so it worked out well.
It's no secret, we contacted Casella, and unfortunately, it wasn't as effective, but absolutely, I mean, we can start, I'll instruct the superintendent to look elsewhere.
Yeah.
The big cost is always gonna be, let's say, like, as you know, Haas, when you were looking at the landfill in Westville. Yeah.
Well, yes.
Yeah. How do we get our stuff to that? You might need a capital investment in order to do that, but in the long run, that could very well be the savings, especially if we're going to see rates going up like this.
We have a great neighbor that's in Louisville there that I'm gonna lock horses with him. He was more than willing at that time, so you might want to resurrect a discussion with him.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else? Seeing none, I do have a need for a very brief, which I suspect will be a brief, executive session in regards to a proposal from a private entity looking to purchase land from the village. No action I expect will be taken. Entertain motion? Moved by trustee Pete, second. Second by trustee. All in favor?